it's an honor to be here. My role at Numana. So Numana, we are the innovation ecosystem catalyst for the province of Quebec. We are based in Montreal. We are a resident of one of the most important creative incubators in the world, which is called the Santec. So Santec propels many startups, and it's a world-class incubator. So we are located there. So we get to be with the ecosystem on a daily basis. I wish to share that we've been active for the preventive health, and this is something I really want to specify. Our role is really dedicated to prevention. More and more, we are detaching ourselves from the actual health ecosystem, hospitals, and the health ministry, because in Quebec, and not only, but in Quebec, we are facing a Titanic scenario, meaning that our hospitals have hit the iceberg. And we are in a critical situation in the province of Quebec. So Numana, we are now dedicated to supporting preventive health initiatives. How we function is we initiate think tanks. So this is how we work, basically, is we initiate think tanks. We foster and invite the main actors in many disciplines to address the social challenges we are facing. So within health, this is how we function. We initiate think tanks, and we focus on enabling experimental zones, which we focus on is living labs. So you have to see us as a think, do tank. This is how we present ourselves. For health, my role now for the past 10 years is fostering everything that is out of the sandbox of hospitals and focusing on community innovation and initiatives, focusing on the actual needs of the population, because the data is missing in Quebec. We have zero data or a little bit of data on the actual needs of the population. So we're focusing on fostering this innovation ecosystem. We have now a network of 10 living labs. 10 living labs that are dedicated to the challenges of well-being and aging in Quebec. Numana's role here is to basically orchestrate this hub of 10 living labs. So I invite you to write to me or connect if you would like to know more on this network of 10 living labs. They're spread out here and there around the province, and they're all of them mostly driven by research. So funded by research and other programs to foster our research and academia to be on the field and collect the data in this critical time for Quebec. Think tanks, we are initiating 2 new think tanks in 2024 with the Public Health Association of Quebec. We'll be focusing on preventive technology. And by preventive technologies, that to be said is to bring out these technologies rapidly to community and the population's needs. We're focusing as well on resilient cities. So resilient cities, I'm just back from Barcelona in France to have, I was on a research field trip over there to see comparables and see how cities are building resilience around the health of the population. So I've seen an exchange with amazing cities. Barcelona is doing awesome. Estonia, I had the chance to meet some of your colleagues out there when I was out there. And Bogota is just amazing with this project of what's it called? Care blocks. So it's basically neighborhoods that are designed for women caregivers. So there's an amazing shift right now in cities. So we're focusing on resilient cities because another challenge that we're facing and where Numana is positioning itself to foster this ecosystem is around the challenges in rural conditions in Quebec. You have to know that we have main cities, maybe 4 or 5 main cities around which main hospitals are, but the rest of Quebec, which is a huge territory, a lot of forest, a lot of nature, and he knows me for my love for nature. But all that to say that we are facing challenges away from the 5 main hospital hubs spread out in Quebec. So we are focusing as well on the needs of the more rural population that is isolated. Isolation is our big focus. The ecosystem is focusing on isolation because this is critical since the pandemic, but even before. So now we are spreading out with community innovation and working with the right approaches and actors to focus on the needs of the more isolated population, more vulnerable. Which brings me to mental health. We are more and more focusing on the mental health challenges of the population, working with different think tanks and clusters dedicated to mental health. And well-being in the workplace. I'll close on this. Well-being in the workplace for us has been, we tapped into this during the pandemic. And as you all may know, the workplace is an area where we have main challenges regarding global health and mental health. So we are now working with partners to focus on well-being in the workplace, because we truly believe that the workplace is an area where we can tap in innovation and best practices to foster preventive health for citizens, because workers are citizens. So we are working as well on this topic. There's challenges, and I'm sure this resonates with you, around well-being in the workplace. There's a lot of isolation with now these new ways of working, and unfortunately, no skills have been developed. So, in a nutshell, this is what we do. We have 3 other ecosystems. So I've shared to you this morning briefly what we do as far as health and digital health, and regarding, and I wish to be firm on this, we are now positioning ourselves on preventive health, because we truly believe that prevention will lead the way. The 3 other ecosystems, and I'm just sharing this as info, we've got 3 other ecosystems focusing on space data, so observation of the planet with space data. Another of our ecosystems is the quantum. So Numana is responsible for the infrastructure of quantum in Quebec. So if you wish to experiment technologies within the quantum loop in Quebec, please come our way. We are responsible to foster this. And last but not least, it's the empathic neighborhoods. Oh yes, this is a Finnish recipe that we are slowly importing in Quebec. So we are fostering a think tank in 2024 around empathic neighborhoods. So I think I don't need to say more with these 2 words colliding together. And our main support financially, we're supported by government, everything that comes from innovation from Quebec and Canada. And our role is to be an intermediate or a mediator or orchestrator towards the need to foster our ecosystems. They are there, but they're all isolated. So Numana's role is basically to foster these ecosystems and orchestrate them. So that was Numana in a nutshell.